What up, Five?
It's Big Five, my nigga.
Ain't shit about me.
Welcome back to Supremely Black Podcast. This is your boy D Rose, man. What's going on with y'all this week, fella?
Man, ain't nothing. I just found out how to cancel my trip to Austin. I got a letter in the mail talking about the boy got to be in jury duty. So don't you worry about bought plane tickets the whole nine. Letter in the mail. Please report to jury duty on that following Monday, 8 o'clock a.m., sir. Thank you for your services. So yeah, I had to go and cancel that. So that's a little disappointing. I'm going to take a little, I guess the little payment as credits and try to figure out another trip. But man, your boy, it's gonna be my first time ever getting scheduled for jury duty. We're gonna see what it's about. They probably gonna hold this boy down for about a week. Hopefully that's all. But yeah, man, gotta do my services to the community.
Man, that's so garbage. I wasn't even expecting that, man. I was sure looking forward to actually getting to Austin because, like I said, I ain't even been down there, man. But
I'm talking about bought my plane tickets 48 hours late. I got the letter.
Yeah, that's correct. I know you were calling like, yeah, I locked in my flight. I'm like, all right, say less. It's like 2 hours. I'll be down that way. But yeah, man, that's well, you know. I guess you be in there pointing out folks and
sure will, man. Now, can you repeat that question one more time? Let me see if this nigga really
right, yeah. Depending on the situation, man, you know, sometimes just follow the code, man. I ain't gonna say too much, but you know what to do. Yeah. Hey, man. Everything been solid over here, man. I can't complain. Actually, you know, I almost forgot. Happy anniversary, fellas. It has been 3 years since we started this Supremely Black Podcast journey. Man, where has time went? I feel like last year was damn near a blur because of everything that was going on, but we made it to year 3. But, you know, very blessed. It's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of changes in life. I guess that it ain't no guessing. That's just part of it. But you know, life is good, man. How everything going on your end, Spear?
Everything good over here. Just grinding in training right now for my new position and everything at work. So that's about it. Got in a wreck the other day, so out of commission with the whip. But outside of that, all is well. I'm alive. I'm unharmed and able to move all my limbs and extremities. So that's what I'm blessed for. So all is good outside of that. Happy anniversary, fellas. 3 years again. It's a long time, but it don't seem that long. At the same time, it do seem long just because we've been going through the pandemic. We've been going through a whole bunch of social unrest and everything in society and stuff like that. We've been going through movement, job stuff, big breaks, comedy specials coming out and everything. So it's been a lot that's transpired in 3 years, but it's also seemed like it was just a flash in the past. So congratulations to making it 3 years, fellas, and looking forward to the next 3.
Happy anniversary, fellas. Spears, there wasn't no FedEx, UPS truck or nothing to hit you, was Walmart truck or nothing, was.
I wish I would have got paid.
I feel say, boy, we're gonna delete. They won't cut out that whole first half of what you talking about. Better walk out the house limping. That's a boat. This episode over.
Hey. I'm talking about so dedicated. He need to do the episode from the hospital bed. Man, hey, fellas, this is how dedicated I am to Supremely Black. We still gonna make sure we drop this episode. I don't want to hear
it. You understand me?
and drop it randomly. Just leave the episode to start screaming. Yeah, just drop the whole. Get up out of this job.
That bit episode just start hollering.
Yeah, I'm out, fellas. Yeah. Get that bread, man. But hey, congrats on the official movement with the job and bossing up with that. That's major. You know, unfortunate with the car situation, but you know, growth comes with some little pain every now and then, man. It gotta test you to make sure it gets you to that next level for real to see how dedicated you is, man. That's just how that. Some of my best breaks came with some of my biggest heartbreaks in life. So shit, hey, that's just how it is, man. But we really didn't have. It's been a lot that's going on. We definitely wanted to keep it light, but a couple of topics we may get into some stuff, man. But I would definitely start off with that was a damn good Super Bowl, man. I'm gonna share my thoughts early. I hate that it ended the way it ended. Sometimes I just feel like you gotta let stuff play out. It was a damn good game. And I hate the way it ended that way. What was y'all thoughts, man? It was two black quarterbacks going back and forth. What was your thoughts?
Well, some of the women ain't saying it was all the way two black quarterbacks, since my homie's got a white wife. So the black woman was like, he ain't 100% black. You know, he got a white wife and all that. It was over my homies, but I'm glad that Kansas City won. I put a little money bet on them, won that money. As far as the way it ended, I mean, I don't think if he would have held them just one time, I think they would let it ride. But that man actually held them twice during that route. They're like, yeah, we got to call, like, you can't just let that ride. You know what I'm saying? They've been killing them on that play all game. So to leave them out on the island right there was kind of crazy anyway. Like, you think they would have switched coverages, but yeah, you got to call. I know a lot of people was upset it ended like that, but I mean, you got to call. You can't just say, oh, it's a Super Bowl. You don't let the Super Bowl end like that. No, it don't matter. When you official, the referee, all that go out the window. You see what you see, you throw it, and you're just like second nature. You just keep it pushing. You know what I mean? So, but big ups to Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Made them boys barbecue chicken, Big Gates barbecue. You hear me?
I really feel like, you know, since that was an in-division rivalry, there's no way that y'all would be wanting the Eagles to win anyway. So I'm glad you got your bread.
I mean, hey, but you know, we got family in Kansas City, so you know, I got to ride with you. You know what I mean? But
you know what? I absolutely hate the Chiefs. Like, there's Cowboys, Chiefs. Like, I'm straight on both of them. So it was just Eagles or I didn't watch the Super Bowl. But it was so good, I had to, you had to watch that. Like, that was actually a really good Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was a good Super Bowl.
In a long time, honestly. So I'll give them that. That was solid. The city was turned. The occupation that I got now, a lot of the people are from the Kansas City area. So, I've seen some videos and they had their parade and all that today. But, and everybody with the whole, he got a white gal, I mean, he 50-50 himself. I mean, his daddy is very much so from the culture, if you haven't been in tune with him. So
smoking on Philly blunts.
Right. Yeah, so they crazy with that. I mean, damn near half the celebrities superstars or whatever. A lot of them are 50-50.
These are black queens was stating that, they would like to see Mahomes with a good wholesome black queen, and they were just letting out their frustration about that.
And that sounds great. How much they say about Travis Kelce? So they don't mind. It's cool.
They going out on dates with Kelce.
Hey, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when they do
it. I see it all type of posts. They talk about how fine Travis Kelce was
That's how it always be, man. Like, everybody getting involved with all that, man. Spears, what was your thoughts, bro?
It was an excellent game. It was a great game from beginning to end. You feel bad for Jalen Hurts because he had a 14-point lead and he balled. Like, to be honest, he played better than Patrick Mahomes did. Despite that fumble, he didn't have no mishaps or no mistakes that whole game. He basically played a flawless game despite that fumble. But other than that, I mean, it was a game for the ages, back and forth, two great offenses with okay defenses. One defense was supposed to be great, but they really didn't show up to the party. The flag and the hold, you got to call that because, again, at the end of the day, if they didn't call it, then the other side would be like how you missed that call and everything, and you hate for games to end on missed calls. I would rather a call be called that actually happened than a missed call. Just like, just a couple weeks ago, I don't know if y'all was watching it because it really don't matter because they ain't doing nothing, but when LeBron and them lost to the Celtics and they missed that foul on LeBron, like you hate for a game to end on a missed call. I would much rather a game end on a call that happened and people just be like, well, you don't call that at this time, but if it happened, it happened. But a missed call where the game is like taken away from you, to me, that's I don't like seeing games like that. And if I was in the game, I would hate to live with that being happen, knowing that the call didn't go when it was clearly a foul, a hold, and a pass interference, whatever sport you playing or whatever the case may be, and the ref just blown it and missed it, especially for a game of that magnitude, which is the Super Bowl. I mean, you live and you learn as a DB. That's the name of the game. I mean, holding happen all the time. Sometimes you don't. Refs can't call everything. Refs can't see everything. Sometimes you get away with it. Sometimes you don't. But you just got to go back to the drawing board, and hopefully next year you get another opportunity and you can redeem yourself. But it was a flawless game. I really didn't have no dog in the fight. I wasn't going against the Eagles. I wasn't going for the Eagles. I wasn't going against the Chiefs. I wasn't going for the Chiefs. I was just watching a Super Bowl with the first two Black African-American quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks playing against each other. And then, so it was a great thing. I wish I would have put some money on it, but I didn't because I didn't have a dog in the fight. But yeah, I would have made me some money because I had a feeling that even though I thought the Eagles was a better team, I just had a feeling the Chiefs was going to win.
Yeah, I had a feeling also. That's why I put that bet out there to get my little money. I was too excited. I almost cashed out early. But then something just said keep that money in there and see what happens. So we was able to make a little extra money. About three bets. About three bets that day I made a little money off of. Could have been even a bigger day if Mahomes would have had a better game. I hit all my parlay on that, so Mahomes supposed to pass for like over 270. Then he didn't come close to that. So I do feel bad for Hurts because he had a wonderful game. Philly, y'all gonna have to pay up. He showed out. He completely showed out. It was one of those situations where he played so much of a good game. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be Mahomes or Hurts gonna be the MVP this game because man, Hurts balled out for real. He showed a lot of the doubters, what he was really about. And I know a lot of people's going back and forth on who should win MVP for the season, which I thought that Hurts probably would win MVP for the way he had improved from the previous season to this season with that. But speaking of two black quarterbacks, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but Chris Berman had made a statement about, the first time we had two African-American quarterbacks, and then simultaneously it's Abraham Lincoln's birthday. I know I just kind of looked and was like, I don't know what they got to do with anything, but it's kind of like the wrong way to even kind of put that. Chris Berman might want to clear that up. What was y'all thoughts about that statement? A lot of people think he was way out of pocket.
I watched the clip a couple times just to kind of check to see if, like, his temperature in regards to it. I really just think he was kind of paying, in his way of saying, paying homage to how it was able to happen just due to what Abe Lincoln's impact was back in the day in regards to freeing the slaves. I'm thinking that's where he was coming from it. Like it was like a salute in his own way. But with it being Chris Berman, I don't think he was coming from like a bad place. I've seen some of the race baiters on IG that's a little bit too woke, trying to make it a big deal. I just think at times we be looking for stuff to try to make it racial, and I think he was just really just saluting, probably thinking he was saying something cool, like, oh, nobody even mentioned this, like, oh, and it happens to be Abe Lincoln. That was it. I didn't take it like.
He thought he dropped it. He thought he dropped the gem right there.
Yeah, like that was like, like if you watch battle rap, that was like a Don DeMarco. Yeah, like he thought he really dropped something. Like, nah, bro, we not really trying to hear nothing about no Abe Lincoln. You feel me? Like, but I didn't take no offense. Not what everybody was saying on social media. They tried to paint it out like Chris Berman was, just last seen at a Klan rally or something. That ain't what that is. So I didn't take nothing back.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't faze me either. Maybe hindsight 2020, should he have said it? Probably not, but it wasn't a big deal behind it or anything of that nature. I agree with Rose. It was, I guess, to show or to try to connect the dots of how since the Emancipation Proclamation to now 2023, it's the first time that two black quarterbacks have faced off in the Super Bowl and started and faced off against each other. Look how far we have come, but also look how far we haven't come for it to be the first of many in 2023. So again, he didn't have the time or the cachet to articulate that at that moment or whatever, or to express into detail or to go full on with the full thought process of it or behind it. But again, it wasn't nothing. So, I mean, yeah, if you feel it was if you was offended by it, then you were offended by a lot. And so you one of them people who don't like comedians. You one of them people who, get offended by the littlest of things. So, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I didn't think nothing extra with it. I've been watching Chris Berman on ESPN since I was a little kid out here, man. Chris Berman ain't never really said nothing out the way. The reason why Tom Jackson is still on ESPN is due to Chris Berman. I think he's put Tom Jackson in a nice little spot, dealing with ESPN and being able to do commentating, have their own show, weekly show or whatnot. Yeah, I think everybody it was a big race baiting on that. You can't just go off the lid for some of this stuff, because when some real racist stuff happen, that's when people don't believe it, because you talking about a little ignorant, little nonsense that don't even matter like that right there. You know what I mean? And it might have been some kid that was watching the game like, what Abe Lincoln got to do with this? Might have looked it up and might not even know. You just never know.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. Now, this was something I had seen before we had even started recording. Did you see that, in a sense that we talked about it last week, Flake, that China has took offense to America shooting down the balloon and wants pretty much damn near the debris back. So they kind of sent like a warning in regards to they need to get them the balloon that was shot down back to them. I know last time that we all three was on here, Spears spoke about doomsday. Now, where do y'all think this is actually headed? Do you think it's just a petty back and forth that's distracting us from something else that's going on? Or do you feel like it's about to go on and come to a head to where somebody gonna have to shake something?
Well, it's kind of strange because China said the United States have been flying balloons over their country for a while as well. So I think this whole balloon situation is wild. There's been one, they said they shot one down over Alaska. Like I said, there's been a couple over in China they've seen, one over Canada. So it's been real crazy. I really don't know what to say about this whole balloon thing. I don't like to use conspiracy type of stuff, but I believe we are not being told exactly everything that's going on with this whole balloon situation. We're getting contradicting information from, pilots that's seeing it. They saying two different separate things. This country pointing fingers at their country. It's a weather balloon. It's not a weather balloon. It's surveillance. It's this and that. I believe people really know, government really know what's going on. However, they don't want to put it out there because they don't know how the United States as a people would take that already.
Well, they already stated what they thought it was, and China responded and said it was a weather balloon, but
I don't believe them, Spears.
No, but I believe America when they say that China was doing some intel on what's going on, because where the balloon was flying in Montana is one of our biggest, I guess, holding centers or reserves or whatever for our nuclear bombs and whatnot. And so what does China need to know what weather's what's going on with the weather in Montana. So again, for them to say that, oh, it was a weather balloon and it came over there. Now, America was right, but they was being diplomatic and politically correct by the way they went about it, but saying, now we think this is an intel balloon trying to get some intel on where we might have nuke stationed and different things like that. And it's a foreign policy a threat. And so I believe America when they say that. Now China's the one who said different things than that, but outside of that, also the thing that makes it make sense to me is if it was just a weather balloon, what you need it back for, China? Like, why you want the debris? If it was just a weather balloon and it wasn't doing nothing but taking data of clouds and rain particles and different things like that, what you need it back for? Especially over in Montana, when you say that it wasn't supposed to be over there in the first place, like, what research you need that for? So again, that just warrants to me that China was doing something that I can't say that they had no business doing, because again, I don't know the diplomatic dealings on a day-to-day basis between the U.S. and China. I know we have our differences, and then I know that we also are diplomatic in certain areas and agree on certain things, but then I also know we owe them a ton of money as well. So, but I don't know the day-to-day dealings with that, and so therefore I can't say that it could cause anything serious, but then it also may cause something serious. All I do know is that even with China's population, I don't think China wants to go to war with America. Yes, they got us by numbers, but I don't think they actually got us by military intelligence and the different things that we could do and the different ways we can deploy different things and stuff like that. However, nobody wants to go through an onslaught in a war like that, regardless, even if you are on the winning side or if you're on the losing side, because the catastrophe that can happen afterwards and the casualties of war and the way that it could change society and life as we know it and as we live, it could be very damaging for a lot of people. So hopefully it's just water under the bridge. Hopefully male egos ain't that fragile and people can see the bigger picture. But if not, hey, we see fights every day in the street. So it ain't no different than when it's between people who run countries. You know, niggas' egos are just as fragile in politics as it is on the street. So I just hope that greater minds prevail and cooler heads prevail.
Yeah, it's like I said, I hope not, but I definitely think it's something going on. And there was another thing with the East Palestine train that had wrecked in Ohio, which a lot of people may have heard about it, may not have, but it's really impacted the city. But the crazy part about it is the Ohio River that it leaked into or closely connected to serves about 10% of the United States population as a water source. So that could be a major impact because people that are like 30 or 40 miles from the spill have been experiencing nausea, headaches, chickens have died, birds have died, all because of that chemical spill. And so there was a few other things like some chloride and some like major things. Basically, it's like the city was nuked, like with a chemical war, essentially. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on out here. I know it's a lot of distraction, a lot of stuff that can kind of keep you entertained, but it's some shit shaking out here that you really need to be mindful of and really just start to prepare, because 10% of your water source from a river, that's going to shake up some stuff. That's going to impact a lot of people. 10% of America is a lot. So yeah, that happened. It's been a couple chemical spills. They said it was one. They won't confirm it. It was one that was supposed to happen in Houston, which we know that kind of happens pretty often. But better to start just kind of watching the ones that's happening on the side or on those coasts and impacting a lot if it's a major water source, because fish start dying and birds dying and prices are already going up on stuff. So it's just a lot going on that, hopefully they just go ahead and come clean with the real agenda. If not, you just take it upon yourself to be prepared. But my thoughts goes out to the city of Ohio and the impacted areas, because that's major. Like, they've had to leave the town. They've asked for them to evacuate, but they've asked for them to come back now. But people saying they can't even bear with the chemical smell that's in the air because of nausea. They can't drink the water. Probably it's going to end up being like in Jackson, Mississippi, not even be able to use the water. No, who knows how long that lasts, and with it leaking into a river or impacting it and serving that many people, 10% of America. It could be some other little changes that come along that we just will have to be very mindful of and know how to maneuver when you're dealing with those type of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, they saying they ain't coming back. There's a lot of people, they tell them to come back. As of now, they saying we don't trust y'all, tell us to come back. It's kind of too early, too soon for that. Like you said, they can't stand the smell or whatnot. It's been planes and stuff flying over, still seeing the black smoke and seeing everything that's going on there. The crazy part is it's a movie on Netflix where something like this similar happened in that exact town in this movie on Netflix. And here we are. The movie was released in 2022 and we are in 2023. And the people who might have been extras in this movie now are dealing with a real chemical situation in their hometown. And the name of the Netflix movie is called White Noise. And it just seems crazy how that happened. Folks want to, use their own thoughts and this, that, and the other about it, but it just seems real strange.
Art imitates life. But one more thing, and then hopefully we could get to a little bit more celebratory stuff and talk about what this 3 years been like for us before we close, and then what we're expecting the next 3 years. The active shooting at Michigan State, we just want to send our condolences to the students, the administration, the professors, the deans, provosts, all of that stuff, the president and everybody there, the families that were affected too, from the people who was hurt, injured, or deceased. And then also right now, breaking news, there's an active shooting in El Paso at a mall in El Paso. And so we just want to send our condolences there too as well. And we just want to say we got to do better. I am a firm believer in the Second Amendment right, so I'm not one of them people, them liberals or left-wingers who are trying to get rid of the right to bear arms or the right to carry, but we do have to find a different way, just like we have to find a different way to vet our police officers. We have to find a different way to vet the people who are buying these assault rifles and or handguns and different things like that. We have to find a better way to protect our communities, to protect our loved ones, and to protect everybody around us. We have to realize that we have to get back to the old age to where your neighbors and your neighbors' kids and your community is just as valuable and important to you as your intermediate family and whatnot. And so you don't just teach the people in your house, you teach the people outside your house. If you see somebody doing wrong, you correct their ass while they're doing wrong, so then therefore they're held accountable, versus you seeing them doing wrong and then you just go in the house and turn their back. Because again, we all fall short, and some people don't have the resources that other people have. So some people's parents might be at work working 2 to 3 jobs and aren't able to correct their son or daughter because they're trying to make sure that they keep the lights on and provide food for their kids and put clothes on their kids' back. And so that neighbor might be the one who has to do the disciplining because they know the situation. But in this day and age, we just mind our business and stay to ourselves. And that's why we are in the position that we are in as a society. So hopefully we find a way back to some of the old age, some of the old times when our grandparents was living and our great grandparents was living and things of that nature. And even so I know specifically us are the way our parents was raised and brought up. Now, some other people might be a little bit younger, so their parents might not be have been brought up and raised the way that our parents was or whatnot. But if we just could just get back to that just a little bit, not even a great percentage amount, but just a little bit, so then we can reach one, teach one, and make sure that we loving on each other more than we hating on each other, because this shit has to stop. I think so far, the last time I checked, and again, don't quote me verbatim, but the last time I checked, just this year in 2023, I think there was 223 mass shootings in America just this year, and we're only in February. So things have to change. But again, I'm not one who wants to take away your right to protect yourself or to bear arms. I'm not one of them people, because I firmly believe in the right to protect yourself and to defend yourself and to protect your own. But there is something that has to change. But we do want to send our condolences and our love to the people affected, to the families affected, to the people who lost their lives, to the people who just were injured, and to the surrounding people who have to deal with that hurt, trauma, and heartache, because PTSD is real, and we can never tell anybody how to react to certain traumas or whatever, and we don't know how it affects somebody's brain, because everybody's mental is a different has different level of mental toughness. So we just hope that and pray that everybody comes out of this okay, and that we just send our love. Y'all got anything to add?
I think you said everything, so I definitely echo those same sentiments. And as crazy as this may sound, man, with it being so many mass shootings, I feel like it's just something like psychologically going on with people that will want to seek out and hurt people that are innocent. And I was just thinking about it the other day when we was thinking on the Michigan situation that happened, Michigan State situation that happened, is I really feel like them knowing if they happen to kill themselves, or even if they, like the guy that went into the Buffalo supermarket and killed all the black people, I feel like that type of notoriety for them, it gives them like a thrill. So with it being so much coverage, I really wish that once it's covered, respect the families and kill the whole overly reporting it, because I really feel like people that don't have any care for human life, this is their last little run before they're forever known because they're a part of a mass shooting. They took out a lot of people or impacted a lot of lives. And it sounds sick, but I really feel like that's how they're moving. It's like, I'm going to be known forever with this. And because it's always, when it's the people that did it, right? It's all the mental issues, and he wrote this letter, and he was all this, you know the game that they play in regards to it. I just feel like them knowing that they're going to get put on this quote unquote pedestal and get notarized, that's what's really triggering for them to go and do it. And it's unfortunate that it's innocent people they're going out and do it. Like it just don't make sense to me. And I'm starting to really question of what is considered a mass shooting as well too, though, because what you're saying, like it being 223 so far, it's only been 46 days so far this year. 40, you know what I'm saying? So that's a lot. That's an alarming issue, but it's almost like 4-5 mass shootings a day. So what do they consider a mass? Not to even get into that, but yeah, it's that notoriety that they get after, if they do happen to kill themselves or they don't, they're forever known. And I think a sick part of their mind is just get a thrill off of that. What was you about to say, Floyd?
You know what, I was about to Google what do they consider being a mass shooting, but I don't even want that on my computer. Let me take that down.
Yeah.
Let me just not look that up. But I want to say, if I had to guess, I want to say they say if it's over 3 or 4 people injured, then they consider it being a mass shooting. So if, like for example, so if somebody has a family of 5 or 6 and they kill the entire family, that could be considered like as it being a mass shooting. The only thing I have to say, Screech, you said everything perfectly well. You too, D-Rose. Only thing I say for anybody out there who's thinking about doing a mass shooting and taking care of yourself after that, just try killing yourself first before and see how that turn out. And then if that happen to work out, don't work out, then you go on with your mass shooting. But try putting the gun on yourself first, and then you see how that work out, and then continue on with your mission. Just start with you first. Don't go out and harm no innocent people, anything like that.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not listening to us, to be honest with you. But go ahead, Spirit. For real.
Now, the one thing I do want to say is, one, I did look up what a mass shooting was. So it's multiple people. It don't have a set number amount, but it's multiple people injured or die from a firearm. However, I just do want to be more sensitive than my brother Flake. So if you are considering harming yourself or anybody else, go seek help. Go talk to somebody. Pray, meditate, do whatever it is that a method that you haven't tried to get them thoughts out your head, and try to see if you can alleviate those issues, problems, voices, or whatever it is, because some people do have mental issues. Some people really hearing things or plagued by things, or some people really are traumatized from somebody else doing something to them, and then they decide to take it out on that person, which also inflicts some casualties of war, some innocent bystanders, or whatever the case may be. But they could be really afflicted and affected by somebody who caused some trauma, some pain, and some hurt to them. So I would say go seek help first, and then if that doesn't help, deal with yourself versus dealing with anybody else. And when I say deal with yourself, I'm not saying commit suicide, but I'm saying deal with yourself in whatever way possible. And so that's what I want to say, instead of saying what our good brother Flake said.
Jokes, everybody. Y'all know, comedian might have been a bad joke. Jokes, everybody.
Okay, Chris Berman.
hey, on to the next topic. Absolutely, yeah. That is perfect. Well said, Spirits. Well said. Yeah, I didn't know where to go, and I didn't want to turn into a laughing session because we just started talking about some real stuff. But yeah, Chris Berman, Flake Berman to be exact. But yeah, man. So it's been 3 years, man. Just I can't even find the words, man. It's so many different ranges of emotions, a lot of happiness. I can honestly say it's not a lot of anger. Having a podcast is not the easiest thing. You do come to like a burnout stage. We're not really doing it to be, extremely accepted. We understand sometimes some of the things that we talk about may not be interesting to the masses, but the people that do reach out, I really want to just take the time out to thank our supporters, because the feedback, the text, the calls, whether you send it to Flake, Spears, it doesn't matter. We receive it well. We try our best to, implement any feedback. I just think I want to thank you all, because the most important part is that we may not say a lot on the camera, but we talk a lot behind the scenes, and there has been a lot from, losses in the family, losses of jobs, financial situations going up and down, just life itself. I mean, some of the instances that we've talked about today, we've all had to deal with those things, unfortunately, up close and personal over the last 3 years. A lot of times, to be for real with you, but that's just how beautiful life is. But if you really didn't have people just reaching out, when y'all drop another episode, that's really what has kept us going over the last 3 years. And we don't always see eye to eye, but honestly, you will never see that. And if you think that you have seen or heard anything, then you really don't know us three, because that'll never go to the net, and it won't be said to anybody besides us three. So, for people that may speculate or get into anything like that. Having a podcast isn't easy, but having a brotherhood is worth it. So I wouldn't trade these two and my complete circle for anybody in the world. But over the last year, let me just speak from that. Man, I would honestly say if it wasn't for these two and some more people in my life, I don't necessarily know where I would have been mentally, and I definitely wasn't thinking about a podcast. So I just wanted to share my thoughts with you all. Thank you all. I love you brothers for real. For the people that have reached out, that really know what was going on. I know a lot of people ask. Cece is my mom, so I'll shout her out on every episode. It's been over a year now, so I'm comfortable with talking about it. But if it wasn't for these fellas and just our union and the support all around, I wouldn't be thinking about talking to y'all. I ain't no telling, y'all might been talking about me being on the news, on some other stuff. But I'm thankful for Supremely Black. I'm thankful for Spirits. I'm thankful for Flake. I'm thankful for y'all support system that may have had to help me or talk to me at any time. And also the challenges, because like I said, it isn't easy, but it has been worth it because you have to grow through certain things to get to certain levels. And that's what makes you appreciate it. And like I said, the beautiful part of it is that regardless of how we may stand, it's never going to be an episode that we use for content. We just get on here and talk, and the episode on air may not be as long as we talk off air. And that's just how real men's supposed to do it. But that's my thoughts.
Man, 3 years has been great, man. It's like I said, it has flown by. I remember the first episode doing this sitting in my garage. We was audio only, and in the summertime, and it's sweating, hot as I don't know what in my garage, recording episodes. Man, I appreciate you brothers. You've been a support, whether you know it or not. There's been times where I even, hit a little bump of depression, especially during this whole little COVID stage, when you really couldn't get out like you want to, and used to getting out of seeing people, and you're not really seeing as many people, and getting out and fraternizing, especially when you used to hitting the stage and doing comedy. You're no longer able to do that as much as you want to. This podcast has been released during those times. Sometimes it's been released to get information out there, to speak with somebody, to talk to somebody, step with the same people all the time. Support from the people who've been listening, our supporters who've been, either send me a text, DM, phone call, whatever it is, man, it's greatly appreciated, because, a lot of people think you start a podcast and you're just going to jump off and get paid for it and get all these millions of views, this, that, and the other. Let me tell y'all something. It's a whole lot of podcasts out there that's struggling real tough. It's a lot of podcasts, but it's only a certain few that's really hitting numbers like this. So we not doing this for payola or nothing like that. We are doing it trying to spread knowledge for real to everybody, give a little history, have fun, and have some laughs at the same time, but also talk on serious and deep discussions as three black men living in the United States, man. So it's been a wonderful journey, been a great ride, man. Just hopefully, ain't no hopefully, but when we do get to that blow up, for those supporters who've been here since episode 1 and 2, man, and y'all can be like, I seen these brothers and where they came from, where they used to be, but we gonna stand on that stage one day and so bring it back. Supremely Black podcast is gonna be a household name.
Hey, Flake had to go back for sentimental value and pronounce it like he used to. Hey, I remember the first 2 episodes, ideally, we had disconnected probably 3 or 4 times throughout trying to record this stuff and everything. I remember sitting in Rose's living room, trying to make sure we didn't have too much feedback with both of our phones and all this other stuff and everything. Like we came a long way, and we still have a long way to go, because we never gonna stop working. So first and foremost, I want to thank you, brothers. I want to tell y'all how appreciative I am for y'all and of y'all for, even when I took my hiatus, that y'all kept this thing running. and specifically you, Rose, like you didn't let the train stop moving, and you know, even though you allowed me to go to the end and to the last caboose of the train, and you know, gather my thoughts, get my stuff together, whatever. You stayed in that conductor seat, and you know, you stayed making sure that we kept moving north and we kept going forward and everything. And you, Flake, for being the cool, calm, collected, and the one of wisdom, and then also the one who just be so out the way and unaware of what's going on that you make everything light. Like when you come back, be like, what the hell happened? I missed all of this and everything. So I appreciate both of y'all, and I'm thankful for y'all. And again, with the way life's up and downs and trials and tribulations that you go through or whatever, this has been one of the consistent things in my life, and it's been a saving grace in a sense. And you know, so I'm appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of y'all. I thank y'all for the talks, for the texts, for the checkups, for the tap-ins, for the conversations that we have when we be after we finish hitting record and be chatting for 15-20 minutes, or even before we start, and we just joking and laugh. So I appreciate the laughs. I appreciate the stories and the messages that we sent, and for y'all taking on a part of a vision that I had and just running with it and helping it be better than I ever imagined or thought. And so I'm thankful for y'all. I appreciate y'all. And then for our supporters and our listeners and the people who tap in with us, even if it's just one person, we could not do this without y'all. We ain't shit without you. And so we're thankful for y'all. We appreciate y'all for tapping in every week and listening to what little old me got to say and what Rose and Flake got to say, and also telling us we doing some things that's more important than just, you know, talking about sex, talking about money, talking about drugs. Like, we're really doing some things that's meant to change the culture, that's meant to change our communities, that's meant to change society. And that even right now, if we only got 1,000 listeners, if we only got 5 listeners, if we only got 1 listener, it's that one that counts. It's those 2 ears that matter. And again, I'm a firm believer that God will open a door that a man can't close, and God will shut a door that a man can't open. And so I know that this ain't the end of the road for us. I know this ain't as far as our voices will reach, but we also got to do the work. We also got to grind. We also got to go through those times to make sure that when it does happen for us, that we're ready and that we prepared ourselves when we put in those 10,000 hours. So then when those 10,000 hours hits, we're experts in the game and we actually know how to do it and how to move efficiently and effectively. So again, I'm thankful for you two, man, but I'm also thankful for our supporters and our listeners. And I can't wait till the next 3 years happen again, because again, the goal isn't to Flex point, we ain't trying to money grab, and we ain't trying to do this for glitz and glamour and shits and giggles. We doing this to change and to make an impact in our community and in people's lives. But our goal is to get on a bigger platform, to be heard and syndicated, and to make sure that we get in the communities and into the houses, into the homes, and on the phones or on the stations of the people who really need to hear the things that we're sharing and the messages that we're telling. And so this is not the end of us. This won't be as far as we make it, but again, this is just the beginning. And what an amazing 3 years it's been, fellas. And salute to y'all again. I love y'all boys, for real. I love y'all, man, and thank y'all for everything.
Yeah, for sure, man. Salute. So y'all be prepared, because for some of the episodes and some of the things we're gonna talk about, we'll be letting you all know ahead of time, so you can kind of, when you hear it, for some people, the newcomers, it'll be completely new. But for the people that follow us on social media, you'll know kind of of what to expect for some of the episodes we're going to be diving into, because it's a lot of key topics that I think that have happened in history. Some as recent, it's not as crazy, not as far back as we would like to think it should be, but it's definitely impacted the culture in a different way and really shaped certain cities and countries in different ways that we think probably are overlooked because it's not celebrity gossip. But we'll be bringing them to you and letting you all know kind of what we're getting into, so people can actually follow along. It ain't like, man, let me go listen to that. We want you to be able to be in tune with us and have some real dialogue. So when you hit the comment section, you can be like, hey, this is a key point for me, so everybody's in tune with it. So just be expecting that when we come with a heavy hitter, we'll let you know. For the people that are in tune, you'll know, okay, hey, Friday, this will be dropping, and we're going to know what we talking about, because it might be a part 1 or 2, because it's some real deep stuff out there that we haven't covered yet, but we've been making sure that we was, properly equipped to do so. So we ready for that. So number love, man, to the Supreme Black fam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got anything to say, Flake, before I go into the Black Business Minute?
No, go ahead into that Black Business Minute, sir.
For our Black Business Minute, we have Elixir Herb. You can find them at elixirherbshop.com, and they're also on Instagram at Elixir Herb. How you spell that is ELIXIRHERBSHOP.com. And their mission: healing has to be consistent with life itself. If it isn't, then it's not healing. Dr. Sebi. We live in a world where our bodies are constantly being bombarded and conditioned with small but significant amount of toxins every day. There is a mass amount of man-made toxins within and around us, from the toxins in the air, exhaust from cars, in our everyday essential products, and also in dealing with stress, anxiety, anger, and depression, which manifest disease and illness within the body. Cleansing is paramount when it comes to healing. The toxic things go right into our bodily systems, affecting the spirit, mind, and body. Over time, these toxins will cause severe inflammation, calcification, and mucus in the body, causing a disconnect from our roots and a painful life experience. The Elixir Herb Shop was created to catapult you to the next level state of living by removing accumulated toxins from the skin, in the body, and blood, distressing the entire system, providing you with a magical feeling every day. Our mission is to help your body regain life within a variety of plant-based, handcrafted, and cruelty-free products. Enjoy. So Elixir Herb Shop is a shop that you could get different herbs, you could get different teas, you could get they have deodorants, they have body washes, they have skin products and lotions and everything that's all made from Mother Earth. That's all without, toxins and aluminums and metals and different things of that nature that heal the body from the inside out and from the outside in. And so that's our Black Business Minute this week. Elixir Herb Shop. Check them out. And I'm about to buy some products from them this week, actually. So there's 4 things that I have in my cart that I'm about to order as soon as we get off of this. I'm going to try them out and see what it's about. So thank you. Salute to Elixir Herb Shop. That's our Black Business Minute for this week.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Our Supreme Black Person of the Week is Reginald Lewis. He was an American businessman. He was one of the richest Black American men in the 1980s and the first Black American to build a billion-dollar company, TLC Matrice International Holdings Incorporated. In 1993, he was noticed by Forbes as being one of the richest Americans. Among the 400 richest Americans, he had an estimate of $400 million back in 1993. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland. He attended the Virginia State University on a football scholarship. He also joined the chapter of being a Kappa while he was in undergrad school. After graduating VSU with a degree in political science, he took a summer program at Harvard to set up the Rockefeller Foundation to introduce African Americans to the study of law. While he was there, he did so good. He didn't even apply to go to Harvard, but he did so well while he was there setting up that program. They went ahead and invited him to attend school at Harvard without even applying. So he was the first student ever out of I would say out of the 180 years that 148 years that Harvard had been open at that time to be accepted into the school without even applying. So our Spring Black Person of the Week is Reginald F. Lewis, wonderful businessman. He has now passed away in 93 at the age of 50 years old. But we want to recognize him as being one of the best businessmen, not just as being a black man, but as an American period. So shout out to him and his family. Rest in peace to our Spring Black Person, Reginald Lewis.
Salute to him. A quick question though. He died the same year he hit the Forbes list?
Yeah. Yep. He died January 19th. The Forbes list had to come out after that.
Dang, that's crazy.
But yeah, he died January 19th of 93 and then was put on the Forbes list that same year with a net worth of 400 million.
Salute to you, Mr. Lewis. Salute.
So with that being said, for all our queens out there, put your crown on, tip that thing to the side, let them know y'all queen. For all our kings out there, put your crown on, tip that thing to the side, let them know you are a king. We are Supremely Black Podcast, and we out.